What is absolute value? Well, by definition, absolute value is a distance or length from zero. Okay, so let's take a look. We have a number line over here, and where's the zero? Zero is right here, right? So that's zero. So I might ask you, absolute value of 5 is what? Well, 5 is right here. And so what's the distance from 5 to 0? Well, we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then there are 5 spaces in between, so absolute value of 5 is 5, the distance between 5 and 0. I could also ask you, what is absolute value of negative 8? Well, where's negative 8? Negative 8 is right here. That's negative 8. So from 0, what's the distance? Well, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The absolute value of negative 8 is 8. Now, notice how I don't say absolute value of negative 8 is negative 8. Why is that? Because absolute value is distance or length. And you don't say negative distance. That simply doesn't work. For example, I have drawn a picture here. We have a home, school, and hospital. Now let's say distance between home and school is 2 miles. You don't say distance between home and your school is negative 2 miles. You never say that, and you probably never heard that either. Because when you talk about distance, you always talk in positive terms. Even if, let's say, you're going backwards. So from your home to school is 2 miles, and from school to home, it's negative 2 miles. Do you say that? No. You say from home to school is 2 miles, and from school to home is also 2 miles. Because when it comes to distance, you say in positive terms. Between home and hospital, 7 miles. Between hospital and school, 3 miles. No matter who's saying it, no matter from which direction, it's always in positive terms because it's a distance and length. Likewise, because absolute value is distance or length of a number from 0, it always has to be in positive terms, never in negative. Okay? So how do you know if somebody's asking for absolute value or not? Because you could just have 5, or it could be absolute value of 5. How do you know that? Well, let me first raise. Well, that's when we have little mathematical symbol to show that it's absolute value. For example, there are 5. We draw these 2 bars, left and right, the straight bars, left and right, to say that this is absolute value. And when you see something like this, it's asking you what is absolute value of 5. And so what's the distance between 5 and 0? That's 5, right? In the same way, if you have negative 11, and you see these 2 bars that's saying this is absolute value, you have to say this absolute value, which is distance or length between 0 and negative 11, is simply 11. You don't say negative 11. So like so, when you see the absolute value sign, it always has to be in positive number, okay? Positive number, because distance or length always has to be in positive. Remember that, okay? So inside the absolute value, you might see negative number, but it's gonna be equal to positive number, okay? So when you see positive number inside absolute value, answer is simple. You say write the same thing, right? But if you see negative number inside a value, inside absolute value, change it into positive number to say the answer, okay?